Hey everyone, this is Anita. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my review of Shadow of the App series by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I first read Guns of the Dawn by Adrian Tchaikovsky, and that became one of the best books I read last year. So when Alan announced to read along for Shadows of the App series, I immediately joined. This is a 10-book series, but as part of the read along, we only read 4 books. After that, a few of us from Alan's Discord continued and finished this series. So what is the series about? The first thing we need to talk about is people in this world, if we can call them people. Tchaikovsky created this unique world where humans evolved along with insects. They are called Kindian. They look almost like humans but with extra attributes, sometimes physical and sometimes only with extra powers. For example, there are fly Kindian. That means humans who are evolved along with flies, that they are small but have wings and they can fly. And there are ant Kindian. They can communicate with each other without talking. And there are mantis Kindian who had claws and who are fierce warriors. Like that, there are many Kindian, almost every parallel with our insects. I heard many people are worried to read this series because they are scared of insects, but you don't have to worry about it. We don't regularly see insects in this. We mostly see them in battles like giant ants burrowing under earth, or giant beetles who carry more weights, or giant dragonflies who help them in war, flying them. But the focus will not be on them, so you don't have to worry about it. Tchaikovsky did a fantastic job in introducing these Kindian to us. He did not introduce all of them at the same time. He gradually introduced a few Kindian per each book, and we can clearly see how much research went into this. In the third book or fourth book, we see this beetle kind of insect who forms a bubble around itself and float on water. We see similar Kindian like that, and when I google, that kind of insect really exists in our world. That is very fascinating. I think Tchaikovsky's background in geology helped him with this research. It was really fun learning about all these Kindian. Main conflict of this series is between Wasp Empire and Lowlands. Wasp Empire is this new and technologically superior empire who wants to conquer every city and entire world. Lowlands is a group of cities who are mostly peaceful, except ant cities. Ant cities are mostly on war with each other. Other cities mostly are peaceful, and they are only connected via trade. They want others to leave them alone. They are not exactly united. They don't care if some empire attacks one of their cities. They don't even have proper armies. One of those cities is called Collegium, where this college is there, and from all over the world students come to learn there. And this Collegium is more reformed. Our main character, Stenwald Maker, is a beetle Kindian who is from Collegium, and he is a professor in that college. He, along with his friends, witness Wasp Empire's attack on one of the eastern cities, and he comes back and tries to convince everyone in his city that Wasp Empire will not stop there and it want to conquer every city, but no one listens to him. This is not a spoiler. This happens in the first chapter in the first book. So we follow him trying to convince everyone that Wasp Empire will try to conquer every city, and he tries to unify all these cities. And we also follow his agents who goes to different cities to gather information. Tchaikovsky did a brilliant job with settings of the cities. Each city is different. We see Skater Kindian city, which is on water, and we see Canafis, which is settled on desert, and we see Excelsi, which is a tired city. Reading these different settings is one of the best experiences in this series. And another thing Tchaikovsky showed variation is battle scenes. As I said, the main conflict is Wasp Empire trying to conquer these different cities. So there are many battle scenes. Almost every book has a battle scene. If not a big battle scenes, at least there are small skirmishes and there are sieges. Every battle is different. Not all these Kindian are technologically advanced. There are two different types, apt and inapt. Apt are technologically superior. Beetles, ants, wasps, they build machines and they don't understand magic. And there are inept kindred who believe in magic, who believe in rituals, who don't understand any technology. So they rely on different kind of styling like sword fighting or old style arrows. And as the series progresses, we see the progress in technology. We see this innovative fuel which helps these planes fly faster, and we see automatic snap bows which totally changes the output of the battle. My favorite battle is Colosseum's defense, which is very inspirational. As I said, Colosseum is a college city which doesn't even have a proper army, but when it was needed, all these professors come up and they offer their services. They are in the middle of researching these flying machines like Iron Man suits, and they are in the middle of researching submersive vehicles. They weren't manufacturing them yet, they were still in prototype stage, but they used those 5 to 10 prototypes and used to defend their city. That was really heartwarming. In addition to battles, Tchaikovsky also explored racism, slavery, and loyalty in different settings. We see many forms of slavery. Wasp Empire conquers cities and takes these people as slaves. While some of them wants revenge and wait for the right time, some of the slaves wants to rise in empires military ranking, and some wants to run away and live freely. In the same way, loyalty is also explored, especially in empire's military and espionage. We get to see how far people go before breaking. I'll not get into details because I want to keep it completely spoiler free, but it's amazing to see how Tchaikovsky managed to show variation in everything. There are definitely some tropes I did not like, but they did not make me uncomfortable. I don't like them, but I can totally ignore them and focus on other things. And there is a plot armor which generally don't bother me as much as it bothers others. I can totally ignore that and enjoy those battle scenes. It is surprising that I did not talk about characters at all until now, because I am a character driven reader. I usually jump into talking about characters. But in this review, I want to avoid talking about them because there are so many battle scenes. If I talk about any character, if I mention name, that will spoil the survival of that particular character. So I'll not mention any character names except the main character Stenwald. We also follow Stenwald's friends, Stenwald's family, and Stenwald's agents. I did not like one character's development. I did not like how this person started and how they ended up. That's the only major disappointment I have. But there are few characters which are interesting. Some are introduced in later books which are fun to follow. Overall, I enjoyed this series a lot. World building is just phenomenal and there is so much action. If that is your thing, I highly recommend this. One last thing I want to add is the audiobook narrator Van Allen is really good. I immersion read all books. I really liked the different accents Van Allen used for different kingdom. If you are into audiobooks, you can pick them on audio. I just want to do quick ranking of all 10 books because I have different experience with all of them. My most favorite are second book Dragonfly Falling and the 10th book Seal of the Worm. I gave these two books 5 stars. If I have to choose, maybe I'll choose Seal of the Worm as the best, because this is the most recent book I read, and also I love how Tchaikovsky closed all arcs. World building is just brilliant as usual. I really like the setting. It is very atmospheric. It has that bleak mood and I really love how it ended. And the next one is second book Dragonfly Falling. I also gave this book 5 stars. This is a 650-page book and I read this in 3 days, which is a big deal for me. And my favorite battle scene is from this book. Almost every scene is entertaining. I know there are some bad reviews like there are too many locations and too many POVs and it shifts from one place to another. It did not really bother me. For me, it was very entertaining. And third place I rank is ninth book War Master's Gate. I gave this book 4.5 stars. Actually, this book is perfect. It covers both apt Kingdom arc and inapt Kingdom arc in parallel. I really enjoyed this. I think the only reason I did not give this 5 stars is because of the violence. In the ending, some of the scenes I felt it was not required. Otherwise, it is a 5-star book. And the next on my list is the first book, Empire in Black and Gold. I also gave this 4.5 stars. It did a brilliant job in setting up the world and characters. I really liked it. And the next in my ranking is the fifth book, Scarab Path. I also gave this book 4.5 stars. Almost all of this story happens in the city called Canafes. The world building, the plot, everything is focused. I really enjoyed it. Next in my ranking is the sixth book, Sea Watch. I gave this book 4.25 stars. This is the only Tchaikovsky book where it took me time to get into the plot. I did not like character work in first 200 pages, but after that it was just brilliant. World building, character work, everything is just perfect. This will be a fantastic movie if anyone adapts. And next in my ranking is fourth book, Salute the Dark. I also gave this book 4.25 stars. This has some pacing issues, but it closes the first four books arc, and the climax, that ending is just brilliant. And next in my ranking is the third book, Blood of the Mantis. I gave this book 4 stars. Plot wise, I think this is the weakest. It also have pacing issues, but I really liked new skate Kinden and all that setting. There are some good moments in this. And next in my ranking is eighth book, The Air War. I gave this book 3.75 stars. This is an unpopular opinion. Others who read this book along with me, Pete from Ponderings of Pete and Benghis Khan, both enjoyed this book a lot, but I did not enjoy this much. That is surprising actually, because this book is very similar to Dragonfly Falling, which is one of my favorites, but there are some characters, new characters introduced in this book. I somehow did not get invested in them. I think because of that, I felt really bored in those scenes. And the last one in my ranking is Ace of the Blade, which is seventh book. I gave this book only 3.5 stars. This book focused on one of my favorite characters from the beginning, but I did not like how this character's arc turned. Also, I was not that invested in the nobles peasant conflict in this book. That's the reason I gave this book only 3.5 stars. As this is a spoiler-free review, I don't want to get into details, but Pete from Ponderings of Pete is planning a discussion on this series, so maybe I'll get the chance to get into details of what did not work for me. But overall, I enjoyed reading this series a lot. It was fun reading all these unique Kingdom and all these battle scenes. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.